Hello, hello. Last we were in Luxor, we went sailing from there. The next morning we were still sailing down to Aswan, but in the middle we had to stop at Edfu. We had a breakfast on the cruise itself, then we head out in Edfu, which is a small village in Egypt along the Nile. We were given these cards to bring back just so they can do the head count that everyone's back, and that's where we were headed for now. The town itself was really small. They were still using horse cart, which was quite interesting. So what was there in Edfu was the Temple of Horus, which is also known as Edfu Temple. It was very close to the river, which is why it was easy to get by a horse cart. It is also one of the best preserved ancient temples in all of Egypt. It is dedicated to Horus, the falcon-headed god of kingship and sky. You'll find him behind a lot of pharaohs because he works as a god of protection, and legend says that it stands on the site where Horus fought his uncle Set in a mythical battle of control of Egypt. The walls of the temple were full of stories, full of hieroglyphs that detail ancient rituals, festivals, mythology, and one of the most important one was the sacred drama, a script describing the battle of Horus with his uncle Set. It was genuinely so grand, like such tall pillars, such a giant temple. From far it just looks average, but when you're in it, it's crazy big. And the ceilings, the kind of work that was done, I don't know how many ages it would have taken to actually make all this. There's handwriting on top of that, there's carved out figures of pharaohs or gods, so much detail. And then there was this inner courtyard in the center, which inside was where the temple was. So there was a whole courtyard in the front entrance, then the center courtyard, and then you get inside, and this was the main area inside. So grand. The pillars were massive, and everything had carvings, everything had something or the other written, and right in the center, this is where you have the figurine Horus. Another interesting fact about this temple is that it was buried under nearly 40 feet of desert, and there were already houses built on top until it was discovered later. Mind blowing. Once we finished with Edfu, we went back to sailing again. The rest of the day was just sailing, so we slept up on the deck, got some sunlight in, and we were headed to Aswan now. It's also really beautiful to be sailing in the daytime because you can actually see the water, and you're moving, you can see the water flowing. Not an experience I've had before, so it's definitely worth it. Next stop was Aswan. It was a far more modern town than Edfu. Edfu was not somewhere you could even see proper roads, whereas Aswan was proper. So our first thing was to book a cab, because you could book a cab in Aswan, and we wanted to have some different kind of food, so we went to a wellness resort nearby, which gave some really nice food. We started our morning like that, and then the plan was from there we'll book a cab and then we'll head to Nubian Village. Nubian Village itself has 2 different locations, so it was very confusing for us to figure out, but luckily the cab driver was good, so he helped us where the main touristy Nubian Village is. You could also get there by the boat. Nubian Village had a very different vibe from all the other rest of the parts we had visited. People were nice, there's so many colors. Apparently there are houses that keep crocodile as their pet. If you want, you could go and pet them. We didn't want to, so we didn't try that, but there's definitely things you can do. There's so much of market, there's a camel ride you can take. We even got to try the hand loom and we bought some scarves from there. That was very, very nice. People were lovely. We got gifted these little gifts here and there. That was quite cute. Overall, I think they're nice restaurants as well. It's a more touristy area, but quite nice. Different.